Residential site valuation and cost approach. Page 18 continued. Properties that have similar uses or zoning, price ranges, or income levels, or properties that share shopping, social, civic, or recreational facilities may all be considered as part of the same neighborhood. In fact, almost any distinguishing characteristic of properties or market areas can be used to define a neighborhood, except those things prohibited by fair housing laws such as race, color, religion, etc. Time and effort must be taken to ensure that the appraiser correctly defines the neighborhood, so the market data chosen for the appraisal will reflect a relevant comparison of value. In fact, in some appraisals, defining the neighborhood can lead to a complex analysis. Neighborhood boundaries. First, the appraiser will often define a neighborhood by looking at the natural and artificial geographic boundaries of an area. Natural boundaries include the obvious rivers and lakes, but also the less obvious parks, mountains, or valleys. Artificial boundaries include such man-made things as streets, highways, and railroads, and may also be drawn along school, zoning, or political districts. Next, the appraiser should observe the area to test the boundaries. This observation should look at the preliminary area that the appraiser has identified to observe if there are perceptible changes in the neighborhood characteristics at any of the physical boundaries that the appraiser defined. During observation, the appraiser is also looking for similarity of land usage and types of improvements, as well as consistency of building style, landscaping, and even maintenance or upkeep as a means of confirming neighborhood boundaries. Page 19. Finally, the appraiser should test her conclusion of neighborhood boundaries by comparing the social and economic characteristics of the area to make sure that these are consistent with the defined neighborhood. Census data or other data on age, occupation, income level, etc. should be gathered and compared as a final step in confirming that the appraiser has appropriately defined the neighborhood. Districts. A district is an area consisting of a particular land use, such as multifamily, residential, commercial, and industrial, etc. The term district is the narrowest delineation of within a market area. When an appraiser analyzes and describes a market area, there could be more than one neighborhood or district included in the process. For example, a metropolitan downtown area could have a specific entertainment district consisting of numerous restaurants, bars, and theaters. Obviously, areas zoned and used for residential use would also be defined as a district. Lifestyles, life cycles. If a market area or neighborhood has been correctly defined, there is usually little in the way of future changes or alterations to its boundaries. Occasionally, a new section may be added to a neighborhood, or a change in a road may cut off some section. May cut off some houses that were once considered part of a neighborhood. But a neighborhood that is properly defined, taking into account not only physical boundaries, but also style, age, usage, and income levels, will likely continue to age together. In fact, all properties in a market area, neighborhood, or district go through their life cycle together. The four phases are growth, stability / equilibrium, decline, and revitalization. Growth. Growth is the first stage a neighborhood goes through when property values tend to rise as development activity begins and continues. Buyers fuel this growth by continuing to purchase property in the area. This demand equals acceptance of the area and prices being charged, and causes the area to grow into maturity. Stability / equilibrium. Stability or equilibrium is the second stage that a neighborhood goes through when property values are at their highest level and the area is built up to the point where there is little, if any, vacant property. Demand typically remains high as buyers continue to prefer this neighborhood as it enters a mature stage. Prices will rarely drop during this period as the real estate market is near equilibrium. Stability and maturity are characteristic of the equilibrium stage in a neighborhood's life cycle. Decline. Decline is the third stage that a neighborhood goes through when property values begin to fall as demand falls. Decline in a neighborhood is typically observable through deterioration or decay. This in turn leads to the area becoming even less desirable, and the cycle feeds upon itself. A less desirable area where remember growth, I highlighted that property values rise. All mode covers your ass on comps. Whether you put C3 or C4, all mode remembers for you. Remember stability and equilibrium. Values are at their highest. Everything is built up. Sierra Norte, a subdivision that had a bunch of buying before it crashed, something, I don't know.